The initial debates regarding the central role of uric acid in gout did not arise until the 19th century. However, it took an additional century for the medical community to acknowledge its contribution to triggering acute inflammatory gout flare-ups. In 1962, two pivotal publications explored the correlation between uric acid and acute gout attacks, laying the foundation for successful treatment with urate-lowering drugs. It is important to note that gout is not a novel ailment, rather, it has persisted throughout much of human history. Referenced in the annals of numerous notable individuals, gout made early appearances in medical records, becoming both an affliction associated with wealth and a measure of a physician's skill. Gout management has significantly progressed in the contemporary era. Recent advancements in molecular biology, diagnostic modalities, and pharmacology have provided us with a deeper understanding of the disease and a more potent array of tools. Gout has been referred to as the disease of kings for millennia since it primarily affects men who consume a high-fat diet and alcohol. Gout was first mentioned by physicians in ancient Greek writings, who claimed that only affluent persons could contract the condition. And when royalty, such as Henry VIII, developed gout, the ailment became popular. In the same way that the French at Versailles copied the royals, Europeans sought after gout as a prestige symbol. Men asserted that gout prevented other illnesses and was even an aphrodisiac in the 16th century. Identified as a distinct clinical entity, gouty arthritis stands among the earliest diseases acknowledged as such. In the year 2640 BC, Hippocrates, a 5th century BC figure, pinpointed podagra, an intense form of gout affecting the first metatarsophalangeal joint, dubbing it the unwalkable disease. Hippocrates' remarkable clinical insights into gout endure in aphorisms that remain pertinent even after 2,500 years. Additionally, he drew a connection between the ailment and a sedentary lifestyle, particularly highlighting podagra as the arthritis of the rich, in contrast to rheumatism, characterized as the arthritis of the poor. 6 centuries later, Galen became the first to delineate tophi, crystalline deposits of monosodium urate resulting from chronic hyperuricemia. While Galen associated gout with drunkenness and excess, he also acknowledged the hereditary aspect, a notion previously mentioned by the Roman senator Seneca. The Dominican monk Randolphus of Bocking, domestic chaplain to the Bishop of Chichester, was the first to refer to podagra as gout in the early 1200s. The name comes from the Latin word gutta, which means drop, and was used to describe the widespread medieval notion that an excess of one of the 4 humors was bad. The balance between the humors, which was supposed to preserve health, could occasionally drop or flow into a joint, resulting in discomfort and inflammation. Gout was later described by Thomas Sydenham, a notable English physician and proponent of Hippocratic medicine. He also suffered from gout and renal illness. The association between gout and alcohol abuse, as well as fatty diets, has been long-standing. Referred to as the disease of kings, gout became synonymous with a lifestyle historically reserved for the affluent. In the past, gout was perceived as socially desirable, given its prevalence among the wealthy and influential. Such a notion may strike modern-day gout sufferers as surprising, highlighting the significant shifts in societal perspectives. Interestingly, gout attacks were once considered a preventive measure against more severe illnesses, a concept that may seem peculiar today. Author Horace Walpole expressed this sentiment, stating, "Gout prevents other illnesses and prolongs life. Could I cure that gout, should not I have a fever, a palsy, or apoplexy?" Gout remedies ranged from acupuncture in ancient China to the consumption of autumn crocuses in the Byzantine Empire. The oddest gout cure, though, was discovered in a 1518 medical text. Physician Lorenz Fries suggested the following peculiar recipe: roast a fat old goose and stuff with chopped kittens, lard, incense, wax, and flour of rye. This must all be eaten, and the dripping applied to the painful joints. Reverend Thomas Daffy introduced Daffy's elixir, his health-bringing drink for gout discomfort, around 1650. Although it did not affect pain, the large dosage of senna leaves may have kept patients from thinking about their suffering as they ran around looking for a toilet. Diet and lifestyle habits that predispose people to hyperuricemia and gout have become more frequent in recent decades. The disparity in gout incidence between Asia and Europe emphasizes the role of dietary purines, derived from meat, seafood, and beer, in the development of gout. Gout has been relatively uncommon in traditional Asian diets, which often consist of rice and vegetables because they are low in dietary purines. In contrast, the high meat and certain seafood-based diets of Europe and the United States are linked to hyperuricemia and gout. A rise in wealth has also been accompanied by an increase in the population of those living westernized lifestyles and eating westernized food. Gout incidence and prevalence have increased globally in tandem with this. Gout has traditionally been thought to be primarily a male ailment. Seneca recognized the idea that women can suffer gout during the reign of Nero, AD 54 to 68. In this age, women rival men in every kind of lasciviousness. Why need we then be surprised at seeing so many of the female sex afflicted with gout, he observed. Although gout is still largely a disease of men in their 40s, it is becoming more common in women, particularly after menopause. As you can probably tell, there has been no shortage of misconceptions about gout throughout history. Even though we now know a lot more about gout and how to treat it, a few myths persist in some people's minds. Unfortunately, in many cases, gout is not treated seriously, and the patient is frequently blamed for the ailment.